Happy Dragon Lucky. The show will begin momentarily.
But why, some say, the moon? Why choose this as our goal? And they may well ask, why climb the highest mountain? Why, 35 years ago, fly the Atlantic? We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other thing. Not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win. We choose to go to the moon.
Hello, welcome to Super Happy Dragon Lucky. This is episode 90F, that is 0x9f. It's the 160th episode. Reminder, nothing on this show is financial advice, never has been. Stay tuned after the updates for our weekly 3-question AMA. And this week, can number go up? It is, as you could guess, SEC overreach and tyranny across the board, probably. Next, let's go to Dragonchain Updates, and we'll talk first about the SEC. Speaking of overreach, of course, you probably have seen that I don't know what you call it, a complaint, I think is the official legal term for it, but I'm not a lawyer. The complaint has been made public, I guess has been established officially. And we wanted to make sure that, just as we did with the original letter when they sent in a notice that they were going to recommend to the commissioners to vote to charge us or to complain about us, whatever the term is. And we had the choice of a 10-minute video or a 40-something page, I think, 40-something page paper. And so we chose the paper route, the response letter, so that we could spell everything out, make a good case, and make it public, so that everyone would see what we're all about, not knowing what they were going to claim in the complaint yet. So in the end, what I'm trying to get to is that we are going to be as transparent as we are able to be. We've seen good effect with other projects, Ripple and Library, and I think there's a lot of good confidence, and it basically the greatest deterrent to evil or rot is sunlight, and making sure that people see what is going on in the world, and what is I guess what we are being accused of, how it is wrong, and what it might mean to the future of other projects if they are thinking about that. So anyway, ultimately, though, we are very confident. I'm personally extremely confident in our ability to win, and the likelihood that we will win, and the fact that we will win. But do feel free to ask questions. We will probably ignore trolling questions or questions that are not fundamentally useful. Even if it's, constructive criticism we will take, right? Absolutely, as, hey, you guys should probably do XYZ instead of ABC, that type of thing. But if you're going to say, oh, you guys suck, and I've been watching you forever, but I'm still here for some reason, even though you suck, because my life sucks so much personally, we're probably going to ignore you and hope that you get help. But the other thing, if you notice anything out there that could help our case, or Ripple's case, or Library's case, do please offer those ideas. I don't know how we'll do it best. Maybe we'll do something formally separate. Maybe we include it inside of Super Happy. I don't know. But any ideas you have for arguments. And, the thing is, when I'm going through that document and, I see what's wrong and I see things that that blow me away, that I don't even know how they would have gotten the info that they have, which is incorrect. But there are so many things that we will need to cite in history to say, well, no, we said this, and here's why it is, and or the context of the answer that we gave on Telegram at some point 4.5 years ago. But it'll be helpful if you guys, pull up anything that could be useful, and we'll, if anybody has any ideas for how we can organize that, or want to help us in doing so, let us know. We're considering to do some various things that might help. I don't know if it's the right word, promulgate, that might help build a community focus, build a drive around that, doing what we already do. So if you have any ideas on that, let us know. Sorry, I had a call there. But we should probably, try to organize that in a way that would be, that would use the tech to help us both prove data and everything else. So anyway, any good ideas, make sure you let us know. And we can't promise to answer every question that you will ask, because sometimes our lawyers will tell us, no, you need to hold that, or, who knows. So, and I'm not going to probably be able to tell you why or anything else. So don't get upset, and just understand we'll do what we can. And in most cases, I think we'll be able to answer you. So it'll be good, but we'll keep you up to date. Just make sure you keep watching. Next on another Dragonchain update. And in fact, it's multi-project. The open source money season 1 is finally going to be viewable, accessible, if you can imagine that. Sorry, that was a long haul. And I think it took this SEC event to make that happen, because I'm not going to get into all the politics around it, but I think there's pretty obviously a lot of politics around where things get played and what people want, either in money or favors, or I don't know. But we finally have basically secured the plan with open source money, with Vision Tree behind it, to get season 1 on YouTube August 26th. And we had a choice. We could wait for a couple of different angles or avenues, but and you think about, in my opinion, especially if you think about Amazon Prime versus Netflix, both of which would have been really great distribution, YouTube is going to be the most accessible, because you can get it for free, right? And we will probably we're talking to a couple of different groups about this, but we're probably going to try to set up something that would be a legal fund, maybe, depending, that would be tied to the open source money project. So we'll see how that works and give you more details as they come up. Okay, next we'll go to Den.Social, where the latest LCP layer creation process for August of 2022 has finalized, with the layers now are live. This month we had 1.798980 million 1,798,000 lore were committed, for a total of 1,798,000 lot NFTs. So 178 million lot NFTs were created in that process. There have been 124 layer communities created to date, and the winners this month were Natural Health, which got the most unique voters. Conspiracy Theories, that'll be interesting, was the number 5 in most lore committed, and Anime and Manga was number 13 in the most lore committed. So super exciting. And make sure you get in there and subscribe. I need to remember myself to subscribe ASAP, and to start posting content in there, and getting getting the things flowing in terms of, you think about the background for the anime and manga is going to be awesome. The avatar, right? So get in there and start working with that DAO to get those things set. Next, to tell you about Coffee with Den, which is every Wednesday at 9 Eastern and 6 Pacific. 84 denizens had participated in that show so far, and were awarded with ownership in the lair just for that participation. I, being unlucky, did not participate because it was too early for me, and I was too lazy to get up at 6 in the morning, or earlier than 6 in the morning to be on the show, which I should have done. But either way, you can now get involved, and that process is going to continue. So get in there and ask questions or be on the show or whatever. Next, we have a DENDAO meeting, which is a live call. It's just a meeting this Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. UTC. Make sure you look at the post in the DENDAO layer for the current agenda and a link to join live. You're welcome to join to cover anything about DEN, either verbally or on video. It's a meeting, and it's not a show, so you don't have to worry about not dressing up or anything. And if you have any suggestions to cover for the agenda, just reply to that post, because that's always useful if somebody has something that they wanted to do. So, and I'm told that I actually have 2 lot for the coffee show. I forgot that I was there. I don't think I was ever on the show. I don't remember that. That's a total blur. Maybe I don't know. Well, I'd have to see proof. Anyway, but either way, World Blockchain Roundtable Update, episode 66 is this Thursday. The topic is Web 1.0 history and limitations. So make sure you get into the post this week, leave a question or a general subject about Web 1.0 history, and hopefully it will get answered. If you get your question answered, you'll get a share of the lot produced that week. It's all fun. And then you get to decide what shows are coming up with the rest of the community, with the rest of the DAO. And make sure that you watch and share last week's episode, Implications of Blockchain to Recorded History, because the more views it gets in its first week, the more lot all of the participants will get. It was, I will tell you, one of my favorites that we've had so far, because it was a lot of really important information about history and about the future and about control. And there's some amazing examples put together in there, and it's worth a watch. So anyway, make sure you watch it. Next, there is the results for a DAO vote in the round table DAO, World Blockchain Roundtable DAO, for the themes for next month, September. The first week will be blockchain fundamentals. The next week will be making the world better with blockchain and decentralized systems. The third week is transitioning from number go up to blockchain go up. The fourth week is cloud mining applications, and the fifth week is decentralized YouTube alternatives. So every single one of those is going to be amazing, if you ask me. Those are all really well selected topics, in my opinion. And make sure you watch this Thursday at 3 p.m. UTC. That's all the updates. So AMA is right after this.
Now, more than ever, our data is at risk. Our supply chains are in jeopardy. Our systems are broken, and businesses feel powerless. Dragonchain gives you a different way, a safer way, a better way, and you have power over your data. Dragonchain gives you proof in an untrusted world. Build now at Dragonchain.com, America's blockchain.
All right, let's see here. I'm going to make this bigger so I can read it. Okay, first off, from our beloved Trogdor, everyone's friend on Den and in the Dragonchain community. We all love you, Trogdor. After years, because you've watched the show for years, after years of watching the show and seeing how you are operating this company, which I hope you haven't seen how we're operating a company, because you wouldn't have seen any of that. I'm not surprised an article like this has surfaced. And by the way, well, whatever. Have you considered how much Dragonchain would benefit from allowing someone to lead the company while you focus on development? You're a brilliant programmer, but are you a CEO? I actually am a CEO. Please step aside before you crush your baby bird if you haven't already. So the main question, have I considered how much Dragonchain would benefit from allowing someone else to lead the company while I focused on development? My actual focus, the problem is I don't get to develop at all anymore, entire history of Dragonchain. But even at Disney, I barely got to develop. The point is I'm a software architect, so I design systems. And yes, that's my favorite part of the job. That's the thing I do best. And anytime we get into things that don't focus on that, it is absolutely a distraction. And we went, I sought out the potential to have someone step in as CEO as early as 18 and as early as 19 with a little more seriousness. And literally, I wasn't able to accept any of the, and it wasn't just me, it was the board, that the issue was that it is fine if you have a CEO who isn't fully knowledgeable about the tech when it's such a tech-focused company. The problem is they would have to have at least a philosophical, fundamental understanding. And everyone we talked to tended to have, only, I guess, they're limited in knowledge to an Ethereum or a Bitcoin model of blockchain. And so we weren't able to jump into any of that. And even on the business side, it turned out to not, because the problem is if you have someone who doesn't understand some various contexts when they are communicating as a chief executive, whether it's in a PR context or more importantly, in a biz dev context, they will miss major points. And, given that it's, we were so small, it didn't make sense for me to jump and do that, because I would have loved to. And you might have loved it, but I guarantee to everyone else that whoever is paying Trogdor or whatever the fuck tribe he is from would still be doing it against whoever else it was. John Smith comes in, great, everybody, hey, Trogdor is not going to be leading the charge. As John Smith was the greatest person ever to be CEO, he would be doing the same thing he's doing. But either way, I hope to have answered, even with a little bit of tongue-in-cheek insults thrown your way. I hope you consider it fair game. But I hope I answered your question. Next, we will go. Oh, we didn't look. Sorry. It is important because he threw in this. Oh, by the way, I'm not surprised stuff like this happens. And we need to look at all of this stuff. And I would invite you to please read this response. It was in the GeekWire paper that they included our response on blockchain in Eternal, that the author, and I, look, we were nice to each other in DMs. He promised to tell me, to give me advance notice. He was going to write a piece on us, and he never did. And then this came out. He never gave us advance notice. Not that that matters, but we didn't know. He has a personal relationship with a former disgruntled former employee, whatever order you're supposed to say it in. And so I think that's why a lot of the passion is behind these accusations. And I don't know if anybody has any detailed questions on any of this that would, be in a truthfully knowledge-seeking context. I would be willing to give you more info on these. There are some things I can't I can't say. And for anybody who is cited in them, to make sure they know, I don't intend to dox the people that have done some of these things. That's not why I'm in it, but I'm going to defend my honor. So, and all that entire article is full of BS. So, and I think we answered it well enough in this. There were a couple of things we didn't answer because they were kind of silly points. But anyway, next question. So Trogdor gets a token. Okay. Kratos God of Boy. How much has Dragonchain spent on legal fees on the SEC case, and how much longer can Dragon fight this? So let's see here. We once, a couple of years ago, we actually asked the accountants this, and we know that we have spent somewhere, and depending on how you account for different things, somewhere between 2.5 or 2.25 and 4 something million, right? And it's probably more than that, and that wouldn't include that is direct costs. That would not include, like, say, my time of other staff, time of the accountants to put together info. That is just, hired hands, lawyers, and people on the outside that we had to pay to do specific things, independent searches and stuff like that of data. Huge, gigantic waste of money. And apparently it's purposeful. Apparently that is the intended result of this model. So anyway, way too much. And how much longer can Dragon fight this? Now, that is an interesting question because we can fight it to the last man. It doesn't, you can, if we had no money at all, it's a religious war, a holy war. I'm going to be on the stand. So it doesn't matter if I had a salary anymore. So, we'll go on as long as we need to, and we'll win. I'm confident in the facts, and I'm confident in, with my understanding of the law and the Constitution, which is relatively easy to understand as a history guy. So we'll see, but it'll be one of those things that is fun at times and not fun at other times, and frustrating that we live in a country that is so free. Okay, next question. Thanks, Kratos God of Boy. By the way, Kratos God of Boy, if you could tell us how to pronounce that, or how you prefer to pronounce it, because I'm just saying it, but I don't know if it's right? Okay, next, Jacob Wayne. Let's see here. An ode to the last World Blockchain Roundtable. Would Sean's blockchain insurance company be a good fit for Dragonchain's solutions integrated with your speed tracking and Greg's cop tracking idea? Like Lisa said, Waze did some of this with consensus type stuff, but this is a revolutionary idea to have on a blockchain with cryptocurrency incentives involved. I agree, right? I know there are tons of industries that would need to revamp on a blockchain, but this one really spoke to me, and I love the kind of brainstorming session y'all strolled through. Absolutely. And the reasoning is that most other blockchains would have a serious consideration for the viability based upon unpredictable network fees, right? If you grew like crazy, let's say you had a couple of dozen people using this system, and you built it on Ethereum with Ethereum smart contracts, right? Anyway, that's laughable, right? That would be the stupidest thing to do in the world, right? Because if you grew, if it's a club or it's a hobby thing, okay, but if you grew that to millions of users, it wouldn't be able to afford to do what it needed to do without breaking their beautiful maximalist centralization ideas. So that's the point. We made everything so that you could very directly do what you would end up having to do to hack it on Ethereum, but it would be on chain. So it's kind of the difference. And it would be amazing, that system. You know, and my thought is, in fact, any of those things that prove useful, like with Waze, where, oh my gosh, I'm so happy that someone clicked the thing to say that there was a speed trap there, right? That's what happens. And right now, you're literally only accurate at the level of people you have interested and bored enough to mark those for you for free. You have to hope that they're there in front of you on the highway, right? With this, it would actually only give you that info if you also provided reasonably accurate info over time. So you'd essentially be feeding that data, and you could make it so that you're actually rewarded with some monetary piece, a token, mining, something like that. That would be beautiful. But you could just as well map it so that no one would know that there's blockchain behind it, but that your consensus and reputation would be weighed, and it would dictate you know, what information you get. So, and let's see here. I think that's three, all three questions, right? So let me go back. Let's see here. Now we have this month, the rest of the month, all merch, all factor merch is 10% off until the end of the month, August 31, at Dragonchain.Store. And in closing, make sure you watch Super Happy Dragon Lucky next Tuesday. Follow Dragonchain, follow Real Denizens, and Jojo Row with zeros, J0, R0 on Twitter and Den and LinkedIn. Make sure you like, and comment, and share. Thanks.
Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best.
Adaptable, raw capital, label radical yet rational. A tactical approach is palpable if this animal is fallible, but that conclusion is laughable. So with for all detachable from the mandible, you see it now.